We are using the Developing a Research Question tool from the University of Michigan's library. This tool will help us take our broader topic and narrow it down into a workable research question so that later we'll be able to pull our keywords from it and turn it into something that the database will recognize. So starting here, you'd type in whatever your topic is. So for me, I'm going to look up study skills. That's my very broad topic. Then you can either hit enter or next. And then you want to think about what population are you considering? Is there a certain set of people? Are you looking at a certain age group? Are you looking at a certain gender? A certain nationality? Whatever. By narrowing the population, you can focus your research in a little bit more. So for me, I'm looking at college students, and you can tell already that this is going to narrow me down. Instead of looking at all students and considering how a high school student may study or how a graduate student may study, I'm looking at college students, right? And we'll get to this topic again after we run through the first time. And then you want to ask, what are you interested? What is it about this topic that interests you? So for me, it's the development of study strategies. So thinking about how do students develop their skills? How do they develop these study strategies? That's what I'm interested in within this topic. You want to think a little bit more than just cause or effect. What specific effect are you looking for? So if it's something with, let's say, nutrition, are you looking at health effects? For causes, it might be, are you looking at whatever environmental causes may be? Something a little bit deeper than just saying cause or effect or implication. Then this one, the time frame, is more important for certain topics than others. For example, if I'm looking up something that is a very relevant topic right now, let's say disease research, I might want to keep that to the past 5 years because so much changes over time. If I'm looking up something that is more historical in nature, let's say ancient Russian history, then that time frame isn't so necessary. The most important thing with this particular question, this thinking about the time frame, is knowing what parameters your instructor has set. So if your instructor says it has to be current, relevant material, it needs to be dated within the last 5 years, then that's your answer. You're looking at the last 5 years. I am going to look at just the last 10 years. Because even within study skills, things have changed with the rapid change in technology. Right? The tools we use has changed. Then I click next again, and I need to think of a location. And this again is important for that narrowing down. Because if I look at like college students and their study skills, I could be looking globally. And it could be very different depending on the different national customs and what's instilled at early ages, right? And what culturally, what may impact that education. So here I am looking at American colleges and universities specifically. So your location could be a nation, it could be a region, so my location here could be the Midwest, and it could be a specific type of school, workplace, whatever. Now I've gotten very specific with both American and colleges and universities, but not too specific that I say specifically Michigan colleges and universities, because that might narrow me too much. All of this is a little bit trial and error. When we get into the database, we might alter our topics a little bit. And then I click next, and I see all my potential search terms over here, and I can turn these into a question, and they give you an example question at the bottom. So for me, I might turn this question into, how have college students developed study skills in the United States in the last 10 years? Now, this question might not be the greatest question, right? It might be a question that's going to work from now until I've completed my project and I submit it. Or I might have to come back and alter the question. The great thing about research questions is they're never set in stone. You can come back and alter them as you do more research, revisit your question, make it more specific, or maybe I realize that, okay, this last 10 years isn't going to work, I changed the time frame. Or maybe I said college students here, but I want to focus now on community college. I saw that there was enough research out there to do that. Or I originally focused in the United States, but I saw a lot of research with Australia, and now I really want to focus on Australia. You can change it as much as you need to, or maybe I find another way to say study skills that makes it even more specific. When you click next, it's going to take you back up to the top to rethink how can you say your population. So for me, college students are also undergraduates, right? That's another way to say college students, especially if I'm not looking at graduate students. And you want to think of two different synonyms. So another way might be university students. In the development of study strategies, if I'm just looking at study strategies themselves, I might say educational skills. Because for me, this study strategies, this section here, this what, is also taking my general topic and thinking of different ways to say that. Again, this is a tool for you, so you make this work with whatever is going to work for you. Enter, I think of another synonym, and that might be, let's say, academic knowledge. You could play around with the term development, creation of methods, whatever. Okay? Then you can send the results. So if you want to send this to yourself, you type in these fields, just type in your name and the email. You can send it to you. You could send this to everyone in your group. You all have the same tool here and whatever you've typed in so that we can use it in the next tool.